Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you are doing well. In previous tutorial, we built a dashboard web app using Streamlit and checked if it works on local machine without any problem. Today we will deploy this web app to cloud environment, so anyone in the world can access to your beautiful app. We will use Docker container and Linux server on AWS today. And those who are not familiar with Docker and Linux, I will attach a link to the detailed introduction of the Docker. So if you want to check, if you want to know more, please have a look. I'm going to introduce you briefly about what is Docker. So this is the traditional infrastructure for app deploying without using Docker. So on the infrastructure, we use hypervisor, and above that hypervisor, we install several operation system, and on the each OS app is running. So here's the official document of Docker explaining the problem of the traditional virtual machine app deployment. Virtual machines are an extraction of physical hardware tuning one server into many servers. The hypervisor allows multiple VMs to run on single machine. Each VM includes a full copy of an operating system, the application necessary, binaries and libraries, so on, and taking up to tens of gigabytes. It's very heavy. And when we look at the Docker container, if you use Docker container, you can host several apps upon Docker, upon single operation system. So it is much lighter. The document says containers are an abstraction at the app layer that packages code and dependencies together. Multiple containers can run on the same machine and share the OS kernel with other containers, each running as isolated processes in user space. Containers takes up less than space than VMs. Container images are typically tens of megabytes in size. So it's much lighter, and it will save money for you that goes to infrastructure investment. Okay, and then what is Linux? Linux is the open source operation system where you basically controls by command line. So since there's no GUI, it's much more lighter, and it runs very well on very low specification infrastructure. Yep, basically it saves memory. It's much more lighter than using Windows OS or Mac OS. And let us start hands-on practice. So let's start the practice. Here's the directory that we have Python file and dataset. You should have this. If you don't, please go to my GitHub link and download. Yep, so we will be packaging this code and data so we can make Docker image. So first of all, we need to create requirement file. What is requirement file? It is the list of file that includes required Python libraries to run the app. So here's the Anaconda PowerShell prompt, and what we do is that we go to directory again. Streamlit web app, and then we activate the virtual environment we used on the previous session. conda activate Streamlit. Oops. Then enter. It is activated. Now what we do is you write this command to make requirement file. Pip freeze. Pip freeze is listing all the libraries in this environment model and make it go to this file, requirement txt. Oops. Requirements txt. So you can see what happened in the directory. It created a requirements file, and if you look at the inside of it, there are a bunch of libraries, including version of each library. But if you remember on the last tutorial, what we did, we only installed Streamlit and Matplotlib, and all of the libraries are included in the Streamlit package, so we don't have to list all of them. We just need to leave those two libraries. So I will be deleting unnecessary list of libraries except Streamlit and Matplotlib. So this shall be fine, and save. And next thing, we need to create Docker file. What is Docker file? Docker file contains a series of commands that when we order the computer to build Docker image, it will execute the series of commands in order. So I think it's better to see. So new file, you name it as Docker file, and see how icon changed as Docker icon. And inside the Docker file, we will start to write series of command that is needed to build this Docker image. So I will start from building base image, which is Python. So from Python, what was the version of Python? It was 3.10. This is the version of Python when we created virtual environment. So Docker image will build image based upon this Python version. And we will set the work directory where the Python file will be loaded. Set. Next, we need to move requirements file to the Docker container, and here's how we do it. Copy requirements txt to requirements txt. Yeah. Oops. txt. Yep. Next, after copying the requirements file, we will have to install the requirements before running the Python file. So run pip install requirements txt. Actually, run after install, you have to write R. And after that, we will expose the image to certain TCP port. So expose the image to, in my case, I will command it to expose it to 8019. And after that, we will command to copy every file in this directory to working directory, which is app folder. Okay. And last, we will write command that tells the Docker builder to run the Python file on the port we have exposed. So it goes like entry point, you write the base command, which is Streamlit and space run and command main Python file, and we will set the port server port 8090. So our Docker file is created, and now it's time to, before we go to AWS, now it's time to check if the Docker file is working properly on the local machine. If you don't have Docker installed on your desktop, I will paste the link of the Docker file, Docker installer, where you can download Docker installer. So please download it and install it. It's very simple. Just install on default setting. Alright, so let's build the Docker image on local machine. Docker build tag. You name the Docker image after tag. So in my case, I will name the Docker image as Streamlit app, and dot. That means is that within this directory, that means is within this directory, this will automatically find Docker file and execute it. If you want, if you have several Docker file, you can put Docker file name instead of dot. Okay, it's building. Okay, it's in my case, I already built it once, so it takes very short time, but I think it takes a bit more time in your case. And since it's built successfully, we will run the Docker image on port 8090 and command the command goes like this: docker run. Before that, if you want to check the image, you can just enter docker images, and yeah, it shows Streamlit app and it's created, and let's run it. Docker run p 80 oops, and the image name Streamlit app. Takes a bit time. Yep, it's run, and you press Control and click, it will pop up the application. Here we go. Looking good. So the Docker container is working now. Okay. We'll in order to stop the Docker image, you can just Control-C. Since I don't need anymore, I'm just gonna delete the container. Okay, and let's move to AWS. So it's time for us to deploy this app to AWS. Before doing AWS, I'd like to make it clear that it's not gonna cost you money for now, and even if the free tier period is over, it will cost you very small amount of money, and I'll show you why. We will use the AWS Ubuntu T2 microserver, and it costs $0.0116 per hour. And if you calculate it, let's calculate 0.066116 multiply by 24 hours multiply by 30 days, and like this is the monthly cost. If you, after the free tier period is over, even if you are using it for full months, AWS will charge you $8.4. So this is the brief introduction of the cost, but first 705 hours. So how much is 705 hours? If you divide it by 24 hours, it will be 31 days. So for 1 month, AWS will not charge you, and well, in that case, you can deploy it and show it to your friend or your future employer, something like that. So please don't be afraid to use AWS. And after you make account, we go to EC2 instance. And click launch instance. And place name your instance name. I will just name Streamlit app. And for OS image, please select Ubuntu. And it says free tier available. We'll just use free tier. We'll use T2 micro. Keep pair named. Please, this is needed to access to this instance from your local bash command. So if you're gonna use bash command, make sure you download the key pair. But in my case, I will just directly access using AWS console. Yep, for security, just create new one. Yeah, everything, you can just leave everything default and launch instance. Just use existing key pair because I already have one. But if you don't have one, create new one. Whoops. Okay, all good. So the EC2 instance, which is Linux server, is created. And before going into the server, we will set the security group. We are doing this in order to allow everyone in the world can have access to your web app. So go to your instance and click the security group. And edit the inbound rule and add rule, say custom TCP, and set the port we have exposed image to, and click the same, set the same IP, and save rule. And everything is set and good to go. We'll go back to our EC2 instance and connect using EC2 instance connect. Hooray! So you have everything set, and it's time to build Docker image on this server. But before doing that, we need to update the server to the latest version, and this is how we do. Sudo app get update. And next thing is that we need to move our file into this server, and we will use git clone. So in order to use git, we need to install git too. Sudo apt install git. Okay, it was fast. We will git clone the repository, and the repository link is on the description box. Please check it. And git clone and repository address, and this is the repository address. Copy it and paste. Okay, see, everything is copied, and you can check by ls. Just copy and paste. You're in the folder, and we'll see. Yep, everything is in there. Dockerfile main, the data and requirements file, all good. And now it's time to install Ubuntu server the Docker. And how do we install Docker on Ubuntu? How to install Docker on Ubuntu? You go to Docker official documentation and just copy this and paste one. All good. And next is copy this and paste. All good. Let's try latest version. Okay, and finally we will check if it's successfully installed. Oops. Yes. Yep. Okay, let's check if it's installed successfully. Yeah, everything is installed successfully, and it's time to build the Docker image. Make sure you are in the directory under the file, under the folder where all the files are, and we will write commander to build the image, just same as the local machine. Okay, it seems everything is built. Let's finally run our image on the server. I'm so excited, right? This is the final step. Good job, guys, for following all this boring tutorial. What we want to do is that we want to run the image even if this terminal is closed 24/7. 365, right? All the time. Sudo docker images. It's Streamlit. Okay. Sudo docker one dp port and steam Streamlit. So it's running, and how do we check? We go to this public IP address and go to the browser and enter the port. We are exposing the image. There we go. Congratulations, guys. Thank you for following such a long tutorial, and I hope it satisfies you and opens new horizon to your skills that enable you to go to next step. I hope you liked it. Please click like button and subscribe. And if you really liked it, please consider buy me a coffee on the link below. It really helps me to create new project. And hope you enjoy the rest of the day. Goodbye. Cheers. Oh, I forgot very important thing though. Please, if you don't want to, if you don't want your server running, please tear it down, and I will show you how to. Go to instances and check the instance you want to terminate and terminate instance. Successfully terminated the instance. So it says it is shutting down, and it will remain on the list for a while, and it will go away. It will disappear next day. So don't worry about it if it's still on the list. It's terminated and you're not gonna be charged. Thank you very much, and enjoy your day, and goodbye. See you next time in next project. Bye.